and welcome back to Open Your Eyes on a Fun Friday. We're about to go into our first segment for the morning, first and second actually. But for the first part of the segment, Chinese New Year, the zodiac sign, the year of the rat, and of course some Mandarin classes. In with us to talk about it, we've got Yu Cheng Yang, who is a Mandarin lecturer at the Taiwan ICDF. He'll tell us exactly what that is. And Corey Garcia, who's a student at UB.
Good morning.
Guys, good morning.
Good morning.
How do you say that in Mandarin?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, good morning we say 早安.
Zhao An.
Yes, correct.
First one.
There we go. The lessons have started. But it's great to have you back. And of course, I know that you have been teaching Mandarin for how long now at the university?
I have been there like for 2 years.
2 years now,
yes.
yeah? And Corey's one of your students.
Yes, so today I bring him here so we
Okay.
can talk about
So
the
that means
classes.
he's your most promising student?
Well, one
Remember
of
the rest are watching, right?
Yeah, teacher's pet.
But this is such an interesting program that was started, I know, at UB, and being able to teach Belizeans how to speak Mandarin.
Yes.
What has been the interest over the past 2 years?
Oh, the interest keep increasing actually because nowadays more and more students are interested in going to Taiwan because that Taiwanese government offers scholarship.
Yes.
So most of my students, I have to say a lot of them, they are interested in going to Taiwan studying in the future. So they would have to know about the language, about culture first.
Yeah.
And then so when they arrive Taiwan, they will be able to fit in well, better.
Nice.
somehow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that the case for you, Corey?
Yes, it is.
All
I'm
right.
actually looking into the scholarships right now.
Yeah, the application is
they're
open,
up,
by
they're
the
up,
way.
they're
Yeah.
up.
Yes.
They're
Yeah.
out.
So you're looking for that, Corey, and was it something you always wanted to do while you joined the class so you could prepare to go there? Or tell us about that aspect.
Well, really and truly, it first originated as interest, and then it progressed to me realizing that there was potential with it. Because overall, I'm interested in language, and I enjoy languages, so I would like to learn as much as I could.
Wow.
And so since Mandarin was present at UB, I decided why not.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay, so this is language number
3.
3. Okay. And I'm guessing it's English and Creole?
So you don't know more.
But 4, yes, because English, Spanish, Creole, and Mandarin.
Creole is an English.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
All right. But this is such a great opportunity because you not only learn the language, but there's a lot in learning a language that you learn culture. Right? What have you learned so far that has been particularly interesting to you?
Well, I believe that something very interesting in the language is just the importance of pronunciation and stuff like that, because it is a tonal language. So depending on how you say something, it can mean a different
Something else.
yes.
Oh, wow.
Can you give us an example?
Well, I think one of the most predominant examples that I can think of is the word. It's right there, ma, right?
Okay.
With that third tone, that's a ma. So it has that sound. But if you say it with just a straight tone, so ma, it actually would mean mother.
Ma means mother.
Yes.
And this one is
But-
ma.
Ma, and it would mean horse.
Ooh.
Yeah, you don't want to mix it up.
Who you call horse?
Oh, that is funny.
Wow.
But, today we're talking about not just Mandarin, but we're also taking the opportunity to acknowledge that the Chinese New Year is upon us. And so let's start off by talking about why the New Year is at this time.
Yeah.
Oh, well, because that actually in Chinese culture, okay, we use another calendar, we call it lunar calendar. So which means when we follow by the moon.
Yeah.
So yes, so which means that of course luckily today is the New Year's Eve for us.
Oh, really?
Yes, and tomorrow will be the New Year.
Okay.
Yes, so Happy New Year.
Thank
New Year.
you.
And
New
yeah,
Year.
so today is supposed to be the lunar calendar. Today is December 30th. And tomorrow will be January 1st for us in the Lunar New Year. And then, so every year might be different. So like this year will be January 24th and 25th. And but next year might be different. So
Yeah.
every year will change.
Yeah.
Because it depends on the moon.
Yes.
So, what is the typical celebration that one expects on a New Year's Eve?
On New Year's Eve, then usually that is like a Christmas for us. So it's that big event for us, the family
Family
to get
comes
together.
together,
Yes,
yeah.
and then have a meal together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, the tradition. And also one of the tradition is that we will give the red envelope. So the red envelope will be this.
You know,
yes,
out
I
of
will prepare.
everything about the Chinese New Year, I think this is one that a lot of people know,
Yeah.
but they don't always understand, right? There's no, it's a good thing.
Well,
All right.
usually the reason we give the red envelope is for
Thank
you
you.
too as well. Yes. And
Thank you.
then, so the red envelope usually we bring down the blessing because
Yes.
that, and it's supposed to be the money inside, but instead of money, I put something else inside of it. That means souvenir, okay. The keychain of Taiwan. So,
Okay.
yes.
Oh,
Yes.
we're thankful. We're
He
thankful.
saw John the feel it over.
Yeah, so you guys are touching that. Okay, give the money.
It's like, does not feel like bills.
It's one of my 5 US for sure.
But the practice behind it, who gives red envelopes and who receives red
Usually
envelopes?
will be from the elderly. They will give the red envelope for the younger children because they will think that it's a blessing from an elder. So they think that, okay, they hope that the children, they can grow up healthily and
Yeah.
then, well, everything will be fine for this year. And then, but also sometimes that the kids, they also have to prepare the red envelope for the adults as well. But it happens that when usually we can get the red envelope until we start to work. So once you start to work, you can make
Then
your
you-
own money, right? So it's your time to pay
Give
back,
back.
give back to
Okay.
your parents.
Yeah.
So like when I'm working, so it's my turn that I would prepare red envelope for my parents, grandparents.
So you sent a red envelope home.
Yes.
So why not a yellow envelope?
Oh, because a red envelope, the color red is because color red is a lucky color in our culture. Yes, and then so that's why you will see a lot of red element that in our culture we use red envelope and we're dressed in red.
Yes, I remember.
Yes, and everything was about red. And because it's about a story, one of the story in our culture is that we call it, there's a monster, okay, it's a monster, we call it Nian. The Nian.
Nian?
Yeah, so Nian means ear.
Niam?
Nian.
Nian, okay.
Yes, so the Nian monster. And then because at that time the Nian monster, they would go to, during the New Year's Eve, they're going to the village and attacking people. And then they would say that, okay, so there's a wise man told him that, okay, there are 3 things that the monster is afraid of. There will be the color red and a loud noise and also the fire. So that's why every time it's New Year, we play the firecrackers,
Yeah.
everything, the loud noise, and then the color red and also fire.
And the monsters come out.
Yes, and then that scares the monster
To
away.
scare the monster away.
Yes.
So there's a reenactment.
So we have actually the video up right
Going
now.
on
I
right
think
now,
I
yeah.
think most people have been able to at least have seen it once. So this is the monster. This is the depiction. Is that what it is?
This one is more like we call it because it's also in our culture popular for the lion dance. But
Okay.
the lion is also it's a lucky animal. It's an auspicious animal in our culture as well.
Oh.
So this is not a Nian monster.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I
what
thought it
does
was.
I thought so too because I know that they usually take it around town and take it
Yes.
into businesses
Yes.
and then this is what would go into the businesses.
Oh yes, because the lion dance, the lion and dragon in our culture is seen as a very powerful animal. So we think that okay, that brings you power. So like in Mayan culture, that'd be the jaguars. So
Yeah.
the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Interesting.
Excellent. And then
So
their
that's-
masks. What about those? What are the significance? There's somebody with a mask there a while ago.
Yes. About that in our culture also because that's related with our religions as well. So the Taoisms. Okay, so those people who wearing masks are just seen it as like how to say that? In our culture there's like a kids. Okay, so they were like showing around and then bringing the fortune and the money because in our culture we also like a God, the fortune of God and also the fortune of love, a different God for in charge of every different area.
Okay.
Yes, so they will bring you like a money to your culture as well.
And there's the fireworks
fair.
as well.
Yes.
That's a
lot
very
of those.
important part. So we know what to anticipate later today.
Yes.
So, as you learn all these things, I think that it's always a process of discovery, and we love having these conversations on air because the wider public gets to understand it as well. What's one unique tradition that stands out to you?
Well, I think at least from this, it's just the stories behind it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when we celebrate New Year, right? Everyone knows that we'll have fireworks and what's not, but there isn't any meaning attached to it and what's not. But I think culturally, when you hear it, there's always a story explaining why they do what they do, and there's always a meaning to everything.
Yeah.
So I think that's the most interesting part about the New Year itself.
Yeah.
You know, you're totally right because we celebrate New Year's, but not that we don't get that cultural meaning behind it. If you're somewhere else, then what you do is that you celebrate New Year the way you do it back home, and that's about it. Then again, now we move into the year of the various animals. So can you tell us what are the animals and?
And that comes with a story too.
Yes.
Oh, yes. So then in the years of the zodiac, we have the 12 of them. Okay. So the story behind it is like one day there's the Jet Empire. They said that we're going to have a party. So they said that they're going to decide who is going to be the first, second, until the 12th. Based on what time do you arrive. If you arrive first, then you would be. So they have a competition of among all of the animals, and then so there's a part of they have to cross the river, and then because the rat he's not very good at swimming, so he asked from the ox said, "Oh, is it okay that you can give me a ride so I get up and then we can across the river?" So the ox is very kind, say, "Okay, sure, I'll give you a ride." So when they're approach to the river bank, and then so the rat just jump off his head and pushing the finish line, so that's why the rat was the first one.
So he's the
Because it's
first.
cunning.
Yes. So yeah.
So we're leaving the year of what?
Of the pig.
Of the pig.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Last year is the year of the pig,
Oh,
and
yes,
this year is
2019,
move on to the
2020.
year of the rat.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So, it's interesting. So it was a race, and this is in the order. The rat was first,
Yes.
the ox was second, and you already identified some of the traits. So the rat was, thinking about strategies and how to get there, and then eventually took advantage.
Yes.
And then the ox, you said very clearly, was kind. Is this
Yes.
part of the characteristic trait?
Yes, true, because that also, well, we have some like, also we have the personality of each zodiac sign.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
I know. Yeah,
Yes. So like last we talked about pig, so pig
So
also
the
they
pig
were
came
generous.
last. So what did that mean about the pig?
Well, the pig is just
Slow. Eat anything?
no, slow. We can say that they are more. They have their own life space. they have their own
Yeah,
speed.
live on their own.
you make it sound good,
They
yeah?
have their own lifestyle.
But that's what I find interesting, because even in the individual stories,
Yes.
they're all like, even if it's last, it's the pig is just doing its own thing. It's
Yes.
kind of like an individualistic approach.
Yes.
The dog as well. I don't remember the story with the dog.
The dog. Also, well, the dog is. You mean the story behind it?
Yeah,
Yes.
the story.
Well, the story is the same one because the 12 zodiacs, so they're
Yeah.
just arriving, swimming across the river and
Yeah.
then reach land. Well, the dog, it didn't mention it much about the dog in the story, but they mentioned about the dragon because they think that the dragon's supposed to be the first one because in our culture, the dragon, can fly or
Biggest,
something.
Yeah, yeah.
So how can it turn out to the 5th place? They said because the dragon is overslept, so that's why it missed the race. So the time when it attended the race, that's why it turns out to be the 5th one.
They like woke up and just hopped over
Yeah.
the river. So what does that mean about the personality or characteristics of the dragon?
Oh, the dragon, because the dragon is auspicious and a very powerful animal for us. It's a lucky animal for us. So people think that, well, if you are so that's why a lot of Chinese people or Taiwanese people, when they were trying to, is the year of the dragon, all the parents, they want to have a dragon son or a dragon daughter because that they think that, okay, that's auspicious, it's lucky.
Yeah.
So they said the dragon people, they may have to be like, you can be the leader, because that also in our culture, the ancient time, the empire, we also have we call him the son of the dragon. The son of the dragon. So it's that also is very powerful. So we think that, okay. So in that year also we have many,
There's lots of babies born.
a lot of dragon babies in that year.
Okay, so if there's a year that most people want to have a baby, which is the year of the dragon, what year do they try not to?
Well, I think that would be the year of snake.
Why?
Yeah, because in our culture is always say snake is kind of like a
deceiving,
creepy.
yeah.
Oh, those poor babies.
But still.
They're born and everybody's thinking, oh, you're going to be a
In
bad
our way, we think like a snake people, they are
Oh my
smart.
God, my lady. Poor baby.
It's true.
Interestingly enough, I actually am from the year of the snake.
Alright, so this,
See, it's like,
from the slide before,
yeah, let's go back into the years so we
Yeah.
help people. People might want to know their zodiac
Alright,
in the
so-
Chinese lunar calendar.
So here we go.
Yes.
So if you were born in the year
So what animal are you?
85,
So
well,
you're
I'm an
trying to
82,
agree.
so I'd think probably a dog.
You're
year
the
of
dog.
The year of the dog.
Okay.
That's good.
So what's the significance behind the dog?
Well, of course, when we think about dog, we know that okay, they
Playful.
are very. I'm gonna say loyal.
yes,
They're very
yes,
loyal,
yes,
right?
yes,
Because we say that dogs are our best friends.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, so
yes.
they're very
yes.
loyal. So usually when we make friends, it's like, okay, the zodiac sign of dog, we can trust them.
Ah.
Yes.
We're still undecided. I'm kidding. No. But that's interesting. What about your year?
My year is the year of the monkey.
Okay. What
Yes.
does that mean?
Well, the monkey, usually we think of the monkey, also it'll be like the expression. So the monkey, we think that they are like clever because, they sneak around and like take something very fast and quickly. So we think a monkey will be like clever and smart, something related with that.
You said they take something.
And let's go to our snake. So it's not all bad, right?
Not all
okay,
bad.
good.
Yes.
So what about the snake?
The snake, of course, as well, because a snake also, in the other way, they say that, well, they are like a sneaky or creaky, but also, at the same time, we think as snake people, they are also very smart as well, because they are intelligent, because they know how to find a way to get in or get out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
See, it's not all bad.
You're good. You're lucky.
And then let's move into the year of the rat.
Yes.
Yeah. So what about the rat?
So the year of the rat, usually the way see the personality will be very optimistic and energetic and also likable. Yes, likable by all the people because, who doesn't like Mickey Mouse, right? Rat. So that's why they say that. And also,
That's funny because in our culture, rats are so much love.
but also-
we're tired of Mickey Mouse.
in the other way, the rat also because of the reproduction rate. So also a lot of married couples, if they wanted children, they want kids, usually they also to pray for the rat as well. We have like a god for each animals, and instead to pray for that if they wanted children, they're going to pray that so it's possible they could get more children if they want.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So I'm the year of the rat.
Okay,
That's
then,
good. I know.
Yes, and also
That means I celebrate all year long.
Yes, that'll be your year.
All right. Wow. And then we've got the tiger, and we know
Yes.
that's one of the most notorious or people fear the tiger.
Oh, really? But in our culture, tiger is also powerful.
Yeah.
So that's why you see the tiger in the video, the tiger and dragon.
Yes.
So you're saying, okay, if you're a tiger, also.
So the rabbit, what's going on with the rabbit? He's just so cute, and funny, and
Yeah, well, the rabbit, yes, it's all the personality with that, and also they are very, how to say that, flexible and they can move very fast, so they can think very quick and somehow.
so while we're at the University of Belize, and you've been doing this for 2 years there.
Yes.
We see a lot of students wanting to be a part of it, and the significance of trying to learn Mandarin.
Yes.
What are the first things you tell them as a teacher? This is what you need to know.
Well, the first thing, every time in my class, I think the first thing I would ask them is that, why do you want to be in this class? I'll ask them their motivations, because I will always tell them that, well, learning a new language is never easy.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when you learn like Mandarin, it's different from English or Spanish.
Yeah.
So you might have a lot of difficulties when you're learning
Yeah.
it. So I want to know their motivations, and I would tell them, well, just keep that motivation, because I keep that in mind, and then that will help you to support you or hand in there on your way of learning Mandarin. Yes, and also telling them that, well, because English, they already know English and Spanish, right? So
Yeah.
those two the biggest language in the world, and also now they are learning Mandarin. So basically, they can speak to most of the people in
Yeah,
the world.
that is true.
That's
That
true.
is
So
true.
it's quite exciting about that.
Now, you clearly said it is a challenge because it is very different
Yes.
from the languages that we speak in Belize. So how do you get them prepared, especially with the pronunciation part? Because that's the part that we struggle with.
That's
the
a- yeah,
most.
that's a tough
Well, we
part.
did on the show at least. Yeah, I'd be calling my mother hoarse quite a bit. Thank goodness she's forgiving, right?
Marlene, you have something else?
But let's start with the pronunciation.
Well, the pronunciation, like usually in the class, I will tell them that the intonation, I think the most difficulty will be the intonations. And the intonation, we have like a 4 intonation and then 1 neutral. But intonation, we use, in Mandarin, is that each word we have the intonation. But actually in English, you guys have the intonation as well. But just like you don't notice where you don't use that so much.
Really?
Yes.
So tell us,
So
what
for
intonations have you
example-
heard from us?
Okay, so for example, like in Mandarin, we have the, let's say 4 tones, right? So the first tone, so that'd be like flat and high pitch. So that'd be like in English, be like you say So that would be the first tone. That's the where it should be. So like when you're going to see the doctor and the doctor asks you to open your mouth, you say So that's the one.
Okay.
All right.
And
You're
then
a
the
good teacher. Go ahead. Yeah.
And then the second tone is the rising tone. So the rising tone would be like English, you would say what?
Well,
I would say what? Then would be the rising tone, right? And then the third tone is like this check. So it's to go from the high to low and high again, up again. So it'd be like English, you say well. So it's like, well. So you get goes down and up again. And the last one, the fourth tone will be the short and strong, so and then quick. So that'd be from the lower tone. So that would be like English, we no. So we say no, that would be strong and short.
Yeah.
So
the
that'd be
kids
like
could master that one.
Yeah, quick.
so that would be the so and then the next one what and well and no. So easier to get into catch up with the knowledge.
that's
of
cool.
intonations. Very
Yeah.
faster and easier.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, Corey. Pop quiz.
Yes.
Oh my.
What can you say to us? You know, if you've learned this language well, you can help to teach us, right?
Yes.
And you have your teacher here supervising, so it is a
Yeah.
quiz, right? So tell us something you've learned and try to get us to.
Okay, so I think one of the most important things that you could learn is maybe just how to do a quick self-introduction.
Okay.
Yes, and so initially when you start off, you find out how to say your name and what's not. Now there are two ways to say that. You have to say she, which is I am, but you can also say 我的名字, which would be, yes, 我的名字. Which,
I like share.
yes, it's she. But 我的名字 would directly translate to my name.
Okay.
Yes, my
我
name.
的名字.
Yes, and you'd also, so in the full sentence it would be 我的名字 she, and then you put in your name.
我的名字是
And then
Marlene.
Yes. Yes. And so that would directly be my name is, and then you'd have your name.
And what is your name in
In Mandarin, my name, let me, 我的名字是高凯瑞.
Gao Kai Rai.
Yes.
Cool.
So we did this exercise, and you know, it's
think it
very
was last
interesting
year or
because
the
you
year
you
before.
separate the name based on the different sounds that you hear from our English name, right?
Yeah.
So there's a translated name in Mandarin.
Yes.
Mhm.
Well,
Okay.
usually I would give the name to my students, and then the way I give it is that, well, based on, so like in Mandarin culture, in our culture, so that the name usually we put the last name in the end.
Yeah.
Oh no, in the first. Sorry, my bad. So the last name first, and then the first name. So that's why. So in English, I'll just try to find the.
This
similar,
happens all the time
pronunciation.
because sometimes people would send us names for the show, and if they would put the last name first, and they get her like, which one is your name?
Yes.
It happens.
Yeah, sometimes they're confused. Yeah, so like his name Gao, so that'd be his last name. Actually.
Okay.
So we put in the first.
Yeah.
And then his first name Curry. So that just say Kai Rui. So I also try to pick up from like a similar pronunciation in Mandarin, but also in the meanwhile also find out like some meaningful meaning behind the characters, because the character also have the behind it. So usually that the way I got my name from my parents, and then they would say that their wishes for you.
Yeah.
They're their hopes for you. They wish you that, okay, you could be like grow up healthily, or they hope that you grow up beautifully or somehow.
Yeah.
So that's the name, their wishes for you, their anticipations
Yeah.
to you. So that's why.
So Gao, because I'm thinking that was similar to Garcia. That was the closest sound to Garcia.
Ah.
Okay. And then the other name,
Gao Kai Rei.
Kai Ray,
Gao
which
Kai
is
Rei.
Ko-Ray. Okay,
Yeah, it's like
similar
Corey.
sounds.
Right.
But each one of those would have a meaning as well.
Yes,
so your
they
name
do.
has a meaning. What is
Yes, it does. So Gao is actually tall. And I may not be that tall, but I think I
it?
can.
Aspirations.
Yes.
And
And
then,
then Kai, if I'm not mistaken, actually means intelligence.
Oh.
Yes, intelligence. And then finally, Ray is like model. Yes. So those are the meaning that would be attributed to it.
Gao Kai Rei.
Gao Kai Ray.
Hey.
Okay.
All right, cool. All right. So on the screen we have some.
John, do
like,
you remember your name?
I think
I
it's,
noticed you brushed past that one fast.
No,
Right? You
no.
don't remember it. Guilty too.
No,
I'm not
at the
putting
last
you on the
time
spot.
we did a session, it was Ni Hao wo jia, wo jian. Something to that extent.
Great memory.
Something to that extent.
I
don't-
love that pop quiz. I can't remember. But it is so. How do you do the opposite? So when you move to an English-speaking country, how do
Yeah.
you choose your English name?
Well, my
Yeah,
English,
good
well,
question.
that's a funny thing is because usually the way we choose our English name is was given by our teacher as well. And then with teacher just pick up a name randomly. So like my teacher say, oh, Edward, do you like it? I said, okay, sure. So even we don't know what the meaning behind it, so we just
So they don't put the level of effort that you do.
No, you just give somebody a name. You name Edward. No.
yeah, I think Edward's good with me. So
Edward's
I-
good
Okay,
with-
but if
I
you
like
were to
Edward.
go back now, and if you were to match sounds or meanings, what would you choose? Have you ever thought of that?
No, but I think Edward. A lot of people tell me that. Well, your name, you look like Edward. So they said, well, Edward is
Because,
good.
all right. So question. So how do you get used to that name when they? So is it at first when they Edward?
well, because I think that once I moved to here, and then I know that because usually we'll introduce ourselves in English name because our Mandarin name sometimes is hard for foreigners to pronounce it. So just use my English name. Just call me English. That'll be easier. So Edward, and then sometimes I would misunderstand it because there are many Edwards surrounding me. So that sometimes when I call Edward, just turn around and say, okay, well, that's not me. Okay, that's awkward. But yeah, just get
Your
used to
name
it.
is your name is Yu Cheng.
Yeah, that's my Mandarin name.
And what does it mean?
Cheng.
The yu means like the first word yu, so yu means like a raise a child. Okay, and then chen means honest. So I guess that's my parents'
You're
name.
an honest
I
child.
hope so.
You
I
Cheng, yeah.
hope that
Yeah,
you
that's what my
fulfilled their hopes at
I
birth.
hope so. I hope.
Yu Cheng.
Yu Cheng Yang.
Yes, yu chen yang.
All right, I love it, man. I love it.
Yes.
All right, and so we did the zodiac sign. We did the year.
I do want to go back to just how the Chinese New Year is celebrated in Belize because you know, growing up, we always see the celebration. There's actually, I know, a big event that's open to the public as well.
Yes.
It's probably sold out by now because it's something that a lot of people look forward
Yeah.
to.
Yes.
Talk to us about how much of that is similar to what you would see back home.
Let's see here. Well, at least I would see that because we sometimes we would give the red envelope as well. The red envelope, and also usually like on New Year's Eve or before New Year's Eve, we should do the cleaning the house, the entire house.
Okay.
Because I would think that before the end of the year, we should clean the house, and which means also sweeping out the bed lock of your
Okay.
house, and then you're ready for the good luck to coming into your house.
Yeah.
So that's why I have to do it before New Year. So
Yeah.
we clean the house.
So you cleaned your house already?
Oh yes.
Okay,
I'm still doing that. On the progress.
I mean, but like, is this just like a traditional cleaning? Like you just want it as clean as possible?
Yeah, I just
Okay.
want to clean the dust, everything.
Okay.
Yes. And then also then we will have, of course, the family reunions that have
Okay.
the family have a dinner together. And then what else? Let me see. The firecrackers.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the firecrackers, we think that, okay, it could make it's a holiday, so we can make it more livable and then
Yeah.
more lively. So it's a celebrations.
Yeah.
And then sometimes people will also, we will say some blessing word as well. Because that for us is also when we see each other, then we should say like a happy new year, and then make you wish that you have all your dreams come true, or like make you make a lot of money, something like that. Yes. So like here in Belize, I think it's quite similar.
Yeah, I think.
And we have the dragon dance.
We have the
that
dragon
goes-
Yes.
Firecrackers, of course, they have that.
So the dragon dance, I'm remembering now, it's about bringing luck to your business.
Yes.
For the new year, right?
Yes.
So explain to us what's happening there when that dragon comes through the streets and goes to a business.
Oh yeah, because dragon and there's other auspicious animal, right? So then they say that usually it would be for the businessmen.
Yeah.
Okay, they would say that okay, I want to make more money for the rest of the new year. So they say okay, so they will invite the dragon dance or lion dance to their house, and then because they think at the same time, so they will see that the people wearing the mask. They say okay, so that's also like the fortune god. So they say also the god will come over and then give you the luck and the money, so they can make more money. And the dragon and the lion, sometimes so you will see in some performance, the people they will prepare like a coin or somehow to like the dragon or lion that they can clip it. So they said okay, so when they can bring the money to you.
Oh, that's interesting.
There we go. And then there's
So I'm sure I've said this on the show. As a child, I was petrified.
Yeah,
by
me too.
dance. Like, I remember walking down Albert Street and just seeing it, and it's like, oh my gosh!
A big dog.
Really scary.
So what about the
I'm
movement?
better now.
Yes, does the movement signifies anything, or it's just?
I think the movement is just trying to imitate the way of the dragon and lion they move. So
And these you said are
let's say that they are the fortune gods. So
Okay.
they lead the dragon and the lion to each household and
yeah. And they're wearing different colors for different reason, or
usually just trying to find some brightful colors.
Bright,
Yeah, the
okay.
bright color for that.
Okay, there you go. That's a big feat.
And can anyone be a lion or dragon dancer, or
I think so.
have you ever done it?
Yeah.
No, I
Okay.
couldn't do that.
Why?
It's a kind of a profession, so that you have to practice for years
Okay.
or somehow.
Oh,
Yeah,
to
that's-
learn it.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a specific movement, and then somehow you have to do that. Also, you have to jumping, somehow it's a hopping. So yeah,
That's true.
I think you
We've
have to
seen
be
them done that.
professional.
Yeah, we've
You
seen
really
them
have to
done
be
that.
an active person.
Yeah.
To keep up.
Yes.
Alright.
Yeah. So yeah, because it's New Year coming, so in my class I also talk about the New Year's activities.
Okay.
Yeah. So and then for this year, from this semester actually it's the first year we are going to have the class in Belize City. They usually we have the class in Belmopan. And this semester we have, because we keep hearing some people that asking, do we
Yeah.
have the class in Belize City? So yeah, from this semester we're going to offer the class in Belize City as well.
Oh,
Yes.
great.
So in the class we talk about.
So when is that going to start?
Oh, actually, class will start from in the city. In Belize City, start from next Friday.
Okay.
So yeah, so if you guys are interested, or anybody who's interested,
yeah.
welcome to join us to sign
Ha.
up.
What time is it?
Oh, that'll be from 5:30 to 8 o'clock on
5:30.
Friday.
Okay.
Okay. And then Corey did mention that it's only one time a week in UB for
Yes.
students.
Yes.
So if I'm a UB student and I sign up to be a part of that class, it's only one time for the week.
Yeah, usually be 1 time or 2 times a week
Okay.
maximum, because I will have the class after work time, after working hours, and at the school. So
Okay.
I don't want to give too much burden for the
I
students.
hear you,
They don't have the
Edward.
entire
I
day of
hear
work.
you.
Yeah.
I hear you. But
Yes.
check that out. So we were talking about jumping things, and there we go.
Yeah,
there's
they have to
some-
jump into the very high stage, so I think that's not easy.
Yeah, those are the real professionals.
Yes.
All right, so let's talk about the important stuff. What do you eat on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day?
Okay, so New Year's
What's a
Eve.
must-have item, right?
Edward, Corey's excited.
Do you know this answer already? You already did your
Well, we went over them. I cannot remember the names exactly. It's a lot, but I know that they were good food.
All right. So
So tell us.
yeah.
Usually that traditionally we have the dumplings, dumplings and fish, and also some family will prepare spring rolls.
yeah.
So yeah, usually the 3 mainly food.
Yeah.
Okay, the fish is because the pronunciation of fish is also close to like remain left. So then for our culture, I think maybe we really like money or somehow, because all of the 3 food is related with money or fortune. So yeah, then the fish we say, okay, so remain, so which means and then we won't finish the entire fish because we have left a little bit.
Okay.
And then because that in Mandarin pronunciation it means 剩余. So 剩余, it means remain. So remain means that we hope that each year you have the savings. So for your money, so every year you can have some. So you won't spend all of your money every year.
Yeah.
And then, so
Okay.
you have some saving for next year as well.
Yeah.
And then so like dumplings. So dumplings also, the shape of dumplings looks like the traditional money we
Yeah.
have, the ancient
Like-
money we use.
yeah.
So that's why also we
That's why
start-
it's-
so
it's
we
turned-
eat that and then you have that. And then also even some people will put the coin inside the dumplings.
What?
So the luckiest person who can have that is, okay, so maybe for the rest of the new year you'll be the luckiest one.
Lucky, but not for your teeth.
Yes.
Maybe it's lucky for your
So you have to
dentist.
buy very carefully. Yeah.
And you said the third one
The third
was
one is the spring rolls.
Okay.
And then because spring roll, usually the color will be like yellow. So
Yeah.
then, okay, that's related with gold. So
Okay.
oh, okay, so money again.
Money again. Yeah.
So, yes.
Oh, that's all right.
I thought
That's all
duck
right.
was a traditional New Year's meal too.
Sorry?
Duck?
Ducks. Usually we see that too, but not exactly.
The
for
other 3 are more
yes.
prominent.
Okay.
Okay, fantastic.
So now we know.
So we are learning so much, and we hope that you are too. We're actually going to take a very quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about ink paintings and a bit of singing.
Woo, Corey, you
Right.
ready?
And it's not going to be John. Don't worry. Right?
Yeah. Thank gosh. Thank gosh.
We're going to take that break and be back in a few. Stay tuned.